No video in this room other than what we'll provide through the FTP site. And when you ask a question, please identify yourself and your affiliation and to whom you're asking the question. We will start off with a statement from Coach Tadlock, then open it up for questions from the student athletes, and then excuse them at some point. Okay, Tim, thank you.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Congratulations to TCU. Ball's bounced our way quite a bit lately. We've been fortunate. Today, ball didn't bounce our way. Baker made a good swing on probably a pitch that wasn't executed, but that's baseball. He's a hell of a college baseball player, that's for sure. And it's a double elimination tournament for a reason. So we'll show up Tuesday and be ready to go.
Okay, we'll start off with questions for the student athletes. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you, and once again, identify yourself and to whom the question is directed. Suzanne and Jill will get a mic to you. Okay, way in the back, Jill.
Andrew Doak with KMAC in Lubbock. Tanner and Hunter, just mentally, how do you guys bounce back from a loss like this today?
I think we'll be fine. Like Coach Tadlock said, the ball bounced our way quite a few times coming up leading into this tournament. But, no, I think we'll be good. I think the mindset in the locker room will be fine. We got plenty of leadership that will set the younger guys on the right track.
We always face adversity, day in and day out. And it's just how you overcome it is, basically what we're trying to do, and we're going to come out on Tuesday and ready to go.
Okay, that was Hunter and then Tanner ASAP. So, next question. Yeah, John?
Guys, just knowing how the ball doesn't travel here, what was your take? Did you think it was out when he hit it, or did you think it was that ball was not going to maybe get out because of the ballpark?
No.
Tanner, you answer first,
Yeah,
please.
he hit it well. I know it was gone. Yeah.
Hunter?
Same.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, Carlos.
Tanner, Hunter, what was it like with the strikeout pitches that TCU was throwing today? Was it something you hadn't seen from them before, or just better stuff?
Tanner.
I think they were mixing pitches well. That really caught us off guard, and we came from a series against ECU where they did a good job mixing as well. So, but I think that was ultimately what it came down to, is they were mixing pitches really well, and he's got a good slider, and yeah, so they got some good arms. So
Yeah, same thing as Tanner said. They came out there with a game plan, and they stuck to it, and we were just missing, I guess, some of the pitches, and that's usually not our team, and we're going to be ready to go next time.
Okay, Gil.
I'm Gil Luberton with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Hunter, on your go-ahead hit, that looked like you hit a pretty good pitch yourself. The pitch was in on the fist, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's my favorite. I just tried to get a good piece on the ball. I saw a fastball. I haven't really seen fastballs all day, and so I saw one, and I just swung.
Okay, back in the back to Andrew.
For both you guys, I'm sure Robert Duggar's probably pretty down in the dumps right now. Just what do you tell him in this particular situation? Obviously, team sport, and takes all the guys out on the field. But what do you relay to him after the game?
Tanner?
I guess just keep your head up. That's the biggest thing we can say to him, and it's gonna be in his head for the rest of his life. But it's not that. It's one pitch. He can easily move on from that, and I'm sure he's gonna be ready to throw on Tuesday because we'll need him. So he's one of our better arms out of the bullpen.
Hunter?
Yeah, he's been one of our dudes all year, coming in, throwing strikes. Especially at ECU, he was our guy, and today just it happened, and we're just going to need him to be ready to go because he's our guy. So we're going to be needing him.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, guys, get ready for Tuesday. Now we'll take questions for Coach Tadlock. Matt?
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Coach, I guess with the way Robert was pitching in the ninth, it looked like he was kind of missing some spots where it wasn't really sure about his command. What did you think about how you wanted to pitch to Lucan?
We were trying to get a ball down the way, and the ball was middle in. And really, I mean, you're pitching at the back end of the game. It's going to happen every now and then. Those guys that pitch back there have to be the toughest guy on the team. When you do give one up, you just got to be able to flush it and go and move on to the next game. And, you know, part of it, you know, you're sitting there watching the game from our seat, and he didn't. I mean, you can blame me if you want to. I mean, we probably could have went to somebody that was commanding the ball a little better. He didn't have great command today, and in hindsight, you can definitely see that.
Get back in the back to Andrew again.
Tim, with how you know this ballpark plays, obviously at Pitcher's Park, and the way the wind was blowing in, how surprised were you to see TCU get 4 of their runs off of 2 home runs?
Not really that surprised. I mean, the change up to Warner was really in the middle of the plate, and he's got some pull power. And Baker can hit it out of any park, I mean, at any time. And the ball was carrying from the gap over to the foul pole. That's the one place it was carrying, so not that surprised at all.
Okay, let's go over here. Mike.
Mike Lanana, Baseball America. Just seeing him from the opposing side this year, what's been your impression of Lucan Baker and the kind of player he is, and how difficult is it to just contain him?
Really got to get the ball in on him. I mean, really, when you got to make a pitch, you got to get in. I mean, that's where you can get him, and obviously you can get everybody down the way if you can execute it. So there's a fine line there with a guy that strong, has that kind of bat speed, and he's got some bat quickness, and he's a polished hitter. I mean, just as impressed as the ball he hit in the 4-hole earlier, you know, with a man on second. I mean, he's done that since he was a sophomore in high school, and he's been a good hitter for a long time.
Okay, Andrew, once again.
Tim, you and the team have just done such a great job as far as staying level-headed, not getting high or low at all, but what do you tell them after the game to just be able to flush that type of loss?
Biggest thing is you're going to get dealt some adversity in baseball, and you got to know how to handle it. These guys know how to handle it. Nobody's saying, hey, tournament's over for us. I wouldn't think anybody's planning on us winning any games, and definitely not planning on us playing next Monday. But it's not going to be easy to get these guys to go. They like to show up. They like to play, and they'll be looking forward to play by the time Tuesday gets here.
Okay, any more questions for Coach Tadlock? Tim, thank you.
Okay,
See you
thanks.
Tuesday.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, once again, for you newcomers, please turn off any phones, and no video in here. We'll take it. You can take it video off the FTP sites. We'll have a statement from Coach Schlossnagle and then student-athlete questions, and then we'll get back to Coach Schlossnagle after that. Jim, give us an overview.
Well, obviously a great ball game. I thought two really good teams. Texas Tech was outstanding, and I knew it was just going to come down to two out hitting or who made an extra pitch or not. Certainly really proud of our at-bats in the ninth inning. I know Lucan's the one that everybody's going to talk about, but and as they should. But yeah, I thought Scoug's at bat after Warner lined out, and that catch he made and Davis made in center field took a lot of air out of our dugout. But Evan put together a great at bat to give Lucan a chance to do what he's done for us in the back half of the season. And I thought we made pitches too. I know we gave up the go-ahead run, but Tregloff had a chance to cash in the fifth inning when he came in to get Neslony out. That was a big out, and then Burnett getting Davis out in the bottom of the eighth was huge, just to keep it close. So honored to be on the field with Texas Tech and their team and their program, but excited to, have a win, have a chance to play a night game, maybe a little cooler.
Yeah. Questions for the student athletes, starting off here. Carlos. There you go, Joe.
Carlos Mendez, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Lucan, did you ever think you'd see a pitch on the inside half of the plate again in your life?
Well, yeah, they've been, working me away, mixing fastballs, but mostly working me away for the majority of the game. And when they brought Duggar in, he has a good fastball. It's got a good run in. And I figured, he had missed a few times arm side. So I was thinking, maybe he'll come inside. So I was sitting on that early whenever I still had the count in my favor, and I got it and put a good swing on it.
Okay. Matt? Okay, go ahead.
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Lucan, Coach just mentioned it a little bit there, but obviously Gardner's catch can take the wind out of your sails and kind of start the beginning to the end as far as starting ninth inning rallies. I guess what did Evans' hit do to kind of reignite the momentum in the dugout?
It was great, and it wasn't just a hit; it was the at bat. He fought through the at bat, saw a lot of pitches, and ended up putting a good swing on a ball that, he'd been needing. He put another one on into the left center gap earlier in the game, but that hit really, it fired up the dugout, got the energy going, and juice was flowing. So it was really good for us.
Okay, Mike.
Mike Lanana, Baseball America. For Brian and Cam, just with what Lucan has done lately, and especially just this season, when he steps up there, are you guys expecting him to hit a home run there? Are you almost just expecting that to happen?
Brian, you go first.
We know it's not going to be a giveaway at bat. Look at the size of him. Whenever he steps up there, in the fall and in the spring when I would face him, he just has that presence, and whenever you're on his side, he's not going to give away pitches. He's going to fight like crazy to, get the next guy up, and, today he did get the next guy up with a big home run in the ninth inning.
Cam?
Just to add on to what Trigg said, he's a grinder. He really grinds out at bats, puts himself in good counts, and gets good pitches to hit.
Okay. Carlos again here. Jill.
Cam, for a while, it looked like your home run might be the game winner. What was your at-bat like there?
The first pitch, I tried to bunt, actually. I saw the third baseman back, so I know the grass is playing pretty slow as well, so if you get a ball down the third baseline, you got a good chance of getting a hit out of it. But the next pitch, he threw me a changeup fastball up, and just got a good pitch to hit, pretty good swing on it.
Okay. Let's go Gil here. Somebody.
Gil Leberton, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Lucan, two things. Did you think your ball was fair? Did you think your home run ball was fair? And secondly, I'm wondering about the familiarity that you have with Tech. How did that play at all into knowing the pitchers better, knowing the fact that you've seen them so many times this year?
Off the bat, I knew it was fair. For a second there, I thought it maybe would hook foul, but there wasn't really a doubt. But we had watched a lot of video on Duggar and knew what he could do and knew what he had and knew how he pitched, and he threw really well against us. He threw 2 outings against us when we played him in the season, and he did the same thing that he did coming in the ninth inning. He keeps the ball low, those really good pitches, and that's, I don't know, that's about it.
Okay, Carlos.
We're now talking about home runs. Brian, Cam, each of you, can you describe the feeling that goes through your body the second you hear the ball off of his bat?
Brian?
Honestly, our dugout just goes completely silent because all we hear is that ball hitting the barrel, and it sounds like a bomb going off. But it's just amazing to watch him, play and go pitch by pitch.
Cam?
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, even hit the crowd grasp a little bit whenever he hits a ball. But yeah, he puts good swings on baseballs and the ball flies.
Okay, go back here.
Sean Ryan from collegebaseballinsider.com. Lucan, when you hear your teammates talk that way, what does that make you feel like?
I mean, pretty good, but it's they were the ones that put us in the position to win that game. Trig threw an amazing 3 and however many innings he threw, 4 innings, something like that. And Cam was the one that got our offense rolling and gave us the lead and put Trig in a comfortable situation coming in. And if those things don't happen, we probably don't get on a roll there in the 9th inning. So it's neat to hear him talk about it. But if Austin Wade and Evan Skog don't get on right there, I don't get an at bat. So it's everyone does something for the win.
Okay, Mike, this will be our last question for the student athletes.
Mike Lanana, Baseball America. Brian, just what do you make of the Red Raiders lineup? Obviously, you've seen them before this year, and what was the key for you to have that outing that you did today?
I think getting ahead. I mean, they can hit. You leave the ball up, they put good swings on it, and they'll make you pay for it. But today I just had really good command on my fastball and breaking ball and keeping the ball low, and I was able to get ahead and kept them off balance a little bit. And guy made a good swing on one, but I was pretty happy with my outing today.
Okay, men, thank you and congratulations, and we'll see you Tuesday. Okay, now we'll open it up for questions for Coach Schlossnagle. Okay, John, right here.
Coach, just how early when was the first time you saw Lucan, and kind of when did, I sort of the power is obvious, but when did the approach really start to evince itself to you that he was more polished than the average high school hitter?
Yeah, in the fall, because I've said all year he's a much better hitter than he is a power hitter. He has power, but in the fall he actually didn't hit that many home runs, but he just has never really swung at bad pitches. And a guy his size with his raw power, you've seen that enough baseball where they pull off the ball and they have, not that he doesn't have holes, but they're susceptible to that breaking ball running away from him or a fastball you can really run in, and he just never did that. He took his walks, and for a lot of the season, he hit, he uses the whole field to hit, and he wouldn't turn on the ball, like we've seen in the last. And so his maturity as a hitter, you've seen, just grow throughout the course of the year. And the closest I've ever been around it personally would be Matt Carpenter. And very, very similar in terms of their approach. There are times, as I've said many times, there are times where you're in the dugout and, stupid me as the head coach, and it's 2-0 count, and you see a fastball from the dugout that you think, oh, God, how did he not swing at that? And you go back and look at the video, and it wasn't a good pitch to hit in a 2-0 count. So his concept of the strike zone is advanced beyond his years, and when that's a scary hitter to I was talking to Cora about it in the ESPN meeting today, and he said, man, you sound like you're describing Miguel Cabrera, and he's not there yet, but it's at our level, it's very similar.
Okay, next question. Okay, Matt, and then Sean.
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. Coach, can you just expand on, like you said earlier, Evans' hit? Because that catch by Tanner really got Texas Tech fired up, and it seemed like that's when you start putting outs together and the momentum was all on their side. What did Evans' hit do for your dugout, and how did it change?
Well, it was Davis in center field. They put him in as a defender in the outfield, and I don't know why in the world he was playing there, with the, normally, but the wind obviously allows the outfielders, that's why he was playing there. The wind allows the outfielders to play shallow in this ballpark. So, but Evan, we definitely could have given in, and he stayed on some baseballs, and he's really done a good job today, especially using the whole field to hit. And when he does that, he's a scary hitter. And so for him to do that was enormous. And Wade's at bat to lead it off was, he has had those kind of at bats for us all year. And so, like Lucan said, it was a team effort. But you know, we had to get Baker to the plate, and Scout did a great job of that.
Okay, Sean.
Sean Ryan, collegebaseballinsider.com. Jim, when was the first time you or any of your coaches saw Lukin, and what was the reaction then? And then can you describe maybe the maturation you saw even in his high school years?
Sure. You know, my assistants saw him long before me. And he really wouldn't give us the time of day. He had, you know, he grew up in an Aggie family, and that's where he wanted to go. His dad, I think, was water polo or something. He played some water sport there, but that's where he wanted to go. But his dad said, you know, let's just wait and see. Taking a look at a few places, and he's a great student. So Stanford, Vanderbilt, a lot of those places were on his list, and. We have a couple guys on our team, Feltman being one, and Ryan Johnson from his summer program, and they just convinced him to at least come take a visit, and he came up for one of our camps. And actually, that's the first time I ever saw him play, and you know, he fell in love with the place. We obviously fell in love with him, and then I saw him play. After we signed him, I saw him play in high school, but I was really going to see him pitch most of the time. I knew he was a hitter, and I knew he was a good hitter, but I didn't realize, obviously, he's the hitter that he is. And you know, he's a guy that he's a really good pitcher, but I think he separates himself as a hitter compared to everybody else. So we're certainly glad that we signed him, and certainly glad he came to school over pro ball.
He committed as a junior, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
John.
Coach, I guess it was Wade that was ahead of him on Scoug's hit. Were you guys in the dugout thinking go first or third on that? Or were you thinking be conservative because Lukin's up next?
No, you know, I mean, I was pretty upset that Wade didn't get to third base, but from his angle, when I asked, because when he got to the dugout, I asked him, "What the heck are you doing?" And from where he was, he had to go back on the line drive. He almost got doubled up on the sinking line drive, and so from the first base side, he couldn't tell that Hargrove maybe had a chance at that ball, so he stepped back, and by the time he got to second base, Neslony did a really good job of keeping that ball and not letting it scoot by him. So, but I don't think there was any thought about Lukin. It was just because, believe me, we're as aggressive as anybody in the country, but I think he had to go back on the line drive first.
You're in the back. Don't give it to the guy on the other side. Yeah, don't give it to him. Give it to that guy.
Jim, can you talk a little bit about the job Feltman's done as a freshman in that role on the back end, and how good he's really been? And did you expect that from him in the fall?
We knew we had a chance to be, you know, a special pitcher because he was a strike throwing machine. He wasn't throwing with the velocity. I don't know how accurate the board is, but you know, he wasn't throwing the 93s and 96s and a couple 98s we've had this year. But he was throwing strikes, and he had a good overhand breaking ball. And Coach Sarlos has done a really good job of switching him over to a slider. He tried that one overhand breaking ball today. It almost hit the guy, but. His mound presence is what's so amazing. Again, he had 3-2 counts in that ninth inning and just kept throwing strikes. He got the fly ball to right field, he got the strikeout to end the game, and so his presence, his ability to stay in the moment and handle his breathing and stay in his routine is well beyond his years as well.
Just a couple more questions, right here in the middle. Oops, jump over.
Evan Watson, TC 360. What was your impression of Janczak's outing today? 8 strikeouts and 4 2/3.
You know, I thought he battled. He did a good job with his fastball. He definitely did not have his best stuff, but you also have to credit Texas Tech. Again, I love their lineup. It's so savvy and they have such great presence in the batter's box. And get the Big 12 Player of the Year hitting in the 6-hole. Man, that's a pretty good lineup with Gutierrez there. But he made some good pitches when he had to. They had him on the ropes. I thought the pickoff at first base, whatever inning that was, I thought that was huge. I think both times we scored, he walked the leadoff hitter, which I wanted to shoot him from the dugout. But you know, he battled and he gave us a chance, and Treg came in, and so again, it wasn't his best outing, but he kept a really good team at least somewhat in check, so we could find a way to win the game at the end of the game.
Okay, anybody with one last question? Okay, Jim.
All right, thanks.
See you Tuesday night.
Yeah.